Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. I'm here joined with Inti Campo.
Good morning, people. How are you?
And we're in my new studio, as you can tell. We've Inti and I worked really hard on this studio, right? Mostly Inti, actually.
Yeah, he was only changing the plans. That was his job.
And yeah, it's turned out really well. I hope you guys like the sound quality and the video. Right, we're broadcasting in 1080p. I had to remove the overlay because that just killed the computer. So, but hey, at least we get the 1080p video. So I'm happy about that. We've got a really exciting show for you guys. We got lots of things to talk about. We're going to be talking about Uniswap, of course, right? Because $2,000 per person. That's incredible, right? We got to talk about the Bitcoin's average transaction values for has returned to 2017 levels. That's out of this world, right? We're going to show you a chart of the average value of transactions. Is just like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And we're at $10,000, right? It's incredible. We're going to be talking about Ethereum, right? How much they made because of the Uniswap thing that happened, of course, and then also quite a few other topics, right? How people have lost bitcoins and how much bitcoins are pretty much lost forever. Whoa, yes, and that's why I'm like, there's not many bitcoins out there, and there's decreasing value. We're going to talk about that in today's show. But before we do that, talk about all those topics, we're going to do TA. And before the TA, Inti's got a few words to say.
Yes. As always, people, it's worth to remind you that this video is for entertainment purposes only, and this is not financial advice. Please do your own research before putting any of your hard-earned money on the market.
All right. Well, yeah, Inti's a little bit quiet because I haven't set up his mic yet.
I have to speak louder?
Yeah, exactly.
Louder?
You're going to have to speak louder because I haven't set your mic up. We're going to do that tonight. We're going to change your camera. We're going to get you an HD camera, 4K camera, and some more lighting over there. And then we're also going to green screen you out so that you're going to play floating. So, yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I don't want to start screaming when you're like beside me,
Exactly. Alrighty, so let's get on to today's show. Before I do that, let me just switch screens, right? There we go. Don't want to forget that. Okay. Oh boy, Bitcoin is tanking. Oh no. Oh boy, I should have saw that, man. Just when it failed here, that was it. Like, I mean, we got, like, really, I don't know what I was thinking. We had a clear head and shoulders pattern here that even if you took this as a shoulders, that was it. We were going to break down from this point, from this candle body right down. And so what we could do is draw from here to that candle body and figure out how far this thing is going to go. Oops. And alrighty, let me just go to the candle body right there and go to that top. Let's do the bodies instead. Alrighty. Oh no, it's not going to do that because it's got the magnet on. Alrighty. And to this body, since we're going from body to body. And then see how far this thing could go. So we're talking the 50% level, which is normal. So we could see it touch the 10,500 level before we see a bounce. I would not trade that as a bouncing level until we see like some sort of divergence on the shorter time frames, if not the 4 hour. So I would probably expect us to probably retrace to the 61.8 because Bitcoin, it loves the 61.8. So that's the 10,300 level, and then we might see some sort of reaction. Don't be surprised if we do a Hail Mary trade. My Hail Mary trade was a 78.6. Get down to the 78.6 before we actually go higher. So we just have to wait and let the candlesticks play out and see what Bitcoin is going to do. So this AB equals CD is just not happening. Right? Hopefully we bounce up to 50%, but don't hold your breath. That would probably be the best. That would be the best thing for us to happen. Well, really, it'd be nice for us to bounce right at 38.2, which is at the 10,600 level. But it's going to be difficult for the price action to do that. Let's go down to the hourly. Well, we are slightly oversold, but I don't think there's enough. There's a nice dabble there a couple of hours ago. Too bad I wasn't up watching it every few minutes, but that's just the way it is. And so, yeah, we're quite oversold, but there's still room. Even though we're probably going to bounce here, and see, probably come back up to 13 AMA on the hourly before we roll over further. All right, let's go on to Ethereum and see what Ethereum is doing. Not too happy over at Ethereum there as well, and it's not a happy land over in Ethereum, but it's not so bad actually, not so bad at all. We can see that Ethereum is bouncing off the lower. Well, actually, where is it? Where are we? We're at the 350,000. Yeah, that's not a resistance level. So yeah, that's it. And let me take that off. There we go. Alrighty. So yeah, it broke through the 371, broke through the 361, and well, at least it didn't create an M pattern. At least, right? So it has to it's probably just going to check this trend line here before it actually decides to go higher. So we're going to have to probably wait to see what Ethereum does. Let's go down to the lower time frame, like a 4-hour. Let's get rid of the VPVR. And you know what? I would like to see the colored coins as well. Mastered candles, colored candles. See how bad it is. Okay, so we haven't turned white hot yet, and that's a good sign, obviously. Let's see here. We're bouncing. Looks like we're gonna bounce off the tops of these candle bodies before we actually continue going lower. Can't really say until we go down to a lower time frame, so let's do that. Yeah, it already looks like it wants to bounce around here because yeah, we're totally oversold. We're outside the Bollinger Band way too far. It's most likely going to have to bounce back into the Bollinger Band, pretty much exactly like Bitcoin. So, and then we'll see what it does after it bounces up to the 13 EMA. So, possible more downside. All the way down to the trend line, which is let's see here, where would that take us? That would take us to the 345 level by the time it gets down here. So that's where Ethereum, we want to look for Ethereum a turnaround before we go long on Ethereum. Alrighty. With that said, let's get on to the news of the day. There's lots of things to talk about. But before I do, thank you everybody for purchasing the DJ15 token. Right, this whole room, this whole studio was made possible by this token, and I will be doing my best to reward the people who have purchased. Even though you actually did get rewarded quite significantly if you purchased a token. Let's see, in August when I first had it, because once you started using Uniswap, if you used Uniswap, you actually got that bonus of 400 unis, and that was worth $2,000. So and some people actually put it back into my token. I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that. Of course, we're having the sale of Pandora's wallet. So if you want to join V2, let me just put that in there. If you wanted to join, right, you can subscribe for 50% off and be part of the Telegram group where we do discussions and I do videos. I did a video last night with everybody. Got to preview the what's it called, this new studio ahead of time, and yeah, we got a lot of information. Everybody got a lot of information, a lot of enjoyment from that as well. So look to if you're interested in joining my Telegram group, just subscribe to Pandora's Wallet. Okay, Uniswap. Let's talk about Uniswap, right? Did you know that the Ethereum miners earned a staggering 1 million per hour, right? As Uniswap delivered, everybody trying to claim their Uniswaps all at the same time, and man, that was incredible, right? Uniswap just everybody wanted those unicoins, and they were some people were dumping it. Some people were, holding it and just putting it in their wallets and stuff like that. It was an incredible time for miners, and I have to wonder. Let's see here. Where's that Where's the other point that I wanted to talk about? I can't seem to find it. There it is. Like $2,000. You know that because I was doing lots of testing on Uniswap and I had multiple wallets, I ended up with let's see here, about 2,000 Uniswaps, equating to almost $10,000 at this point. And I'm like, how is this possible? This is unbelievable. All this money just dropped in. That's I was talking about how that's like 1/3 of the salary. I mean, one third of the $10,000 is like. Is so much money, right? I mean, I only pay myself 1/3 of that $10,000 as a salary, and it's like incredible. That's a lot of money just for like the average person. I mean, did you buy anything, Inti? Would you buy any tokens that I mentioned?
No, I missed it. He's been laughing like that since from Thursday.
Yes.
He was telling everybody, "Oh, did you got your Uniswap? Oh man, you shouldn't have done that. You lost like $2,000. You lost $3,000."
Yeah.
To all his friends, he was like that, including me.
We mentioned in the videos, right? Lots of different tokens you could purchase with Uniswap, and so that would have been a free $2,000, right? Just by buying those tokens, right? I mean, let me just bring up my Twitter, because on my Twitter page. Later, I show off a little bit of the cash that was. I have videos on showing people how to buy stuff on Uniswap, and then you know what, I need to do a liquidity value. But you know what, I think Uniswap is going to be giving out another round, right, to people. So if you haven't gotten your stimulus check from Uniswap, you should definitely do some buying on Uniswap and learn how to use it, so that when they issue their next stimulus check, you're not left out, right? You're not left out. Like, Jesus, look at that. This is sick. I just can't believe it. Anyways, all right, let's get on to the Bitcoin news for today, right? But before we do, man, there's a lot of Bitcoin being lost, right? I mean, these guys lost 13 Bitcoins, right? I remember when they did that. They mined with the Butterfly Labs, and they just, lost the address. And that's it. Those 13 Bitcoins are gone forever. And even I've lost like 2 Bitcoins recently. In 2018, I went to pay for something, and I lost them. And so the number of increasing people who have either hodled or lost a Bitcoin is at 7.4 million BTC. So either those people are hodling forever, or they've lost it, basically, is what Glassnode is saying. And I don't know. That's a lot of Bitcoin that's never moving, right? Whether either it's because of hodlers or because they've actually lost it. And And yeah, those bitcoins, they actually there's a caveat, right? Of course, right? Those bitcoins, right, are basically bounties for anybody to hack Bitcoin. So if you want 7.4 million Bitcoin, try hacking that, and then you'll get the 7.5 million Bitcoins, and that's a lot of money. But the real charts that you want to, we've noticed is like we've noticed a lot of things that are going on in the Bitcoin world, right? We're noticing, hey, look, the what's it called, the difficulty, mining difficulty, meaning more miners are joining in and mining Bitcoin. Meaning the network is that much secure, right? And then of course, the average transactions, right, are staying around 300,000 Bitcoin, 300,000 transactions per day. But the most incredible thing that I liked, that I'm like blown away, is that this chart, right? Over here, you can see we average probably around, for every transaction, the average all the transactions, 300,000 transactions that we have per day, we average around, 30,000, 40,000, 20,000 dollars in money moved. That's the average. That means half of the people are moving over $20,000. The other half are moving under 20,000. Now we're just averaging. We're staying above $100,000 on average wealth being moved in the Bitcoin network. So on an average day, half of those 300,000 people are moving over $100,000 in a single day. Think about that. That's not you and me, right? Doing that, right? You know who's doing that, right? It's the micro strategies companies that are finally going, yeah, I think we better get some of that, because you know what? I just realized that I got like trillions of dollars on my balance sheet here, and I don't know how much that's going to be worth in the future, since, this month, the printer go brrr, right? And next month in October, the printer go brrr, October, and then November and December for a very long time. And the Fed has said, till 2023, we're going to go brrr. So, yeah, a lot of investors are starting to realize, a lot of big money investors starting to realize it's time to get in. And it doesn't matter that Bitcoin is bleeding out here. That bleed is your salvation. You got to hope that it bleeds even more, because next year I feel so confident about my $1.2 million call, man. I mean, I'm surprised if we don't. If the Fed decides to go to hyperinflate this thing to this year, I mean, those companies, they can't get into Bitcoin at that point. That would be one way to close the door on Bitcoin, is to hyperinflate the dollar right now. Then they wouldn't be able to get in because it's just too high, right? They'd have to look for other assets, right? So that would I would suggest, if you haven't got your Bitcoin yet, that you think about getting some right away. All right. With that said, if you are watching today's show live, right? This is the end of of our show for the actually people who are watching on the on my what's it called, my test my backup channel. So this is the end of the show for the people watching on the backup channel. For the live people, we're going to be going on to the question and answers period with Inti. All right, so what questions and answers do you got for us today, Inti?
Okay, let's start strong with a question from Kev Allen. Okay, Kev Allen asks, what are some telltale signs that it's bad idea that is tell you that it's a bad idea to buy Bitcoin or to buy a coin? For example, when it's recently gone to all-time low, but now it's doing some W's. Would you consider it?
Okay, yeah. So he's asking if when's it a bad time to buy a coin, a particular cryptocurrency, And when is a good time to buy a particular cryptocurrency? Well, obviously, it's the worst time to buy one is right up here. That's the worst. Now, if you're looking for the W's, the problem is, right, you could wait for a W, but you got to keep looking at that cryptocurrency every single day and look for the W's. And there's a little cheeky W there, not the cleanest, but it just started to take off. And these W's are not always going to pan out, right? You got to keep that in mind, right? Sometimes they're just not going to work, but they're, for the most case, you will see. You could wait for structures to buy. I would best wait for a weekly structure to buy a particular cryptocurrency. If there's no, and it's really difficult to see. There's no weekly structure here, so whenever that happens, you can pretty much bet your top dollar that it's going to come back all the way to the bottom here before it turns around. So. I'm thinking this, even though I bought some here, it's okay. You know what? The little old lady strategy is very forgiving. You could actually, because especially these coins, especially in the next bull run, you're going to see coins like this just explode like heavily. All right, next question.
Next question. Flying Rise 909 from Twitch asks, can you explain what a warped Bitcoin is?
Wrapped Bitcoin.
Wrapped.
Right, wrapped Bitcoin is basically you give this company your Bitcoin, and they give you a token, and they charge you a small fee in return, and that's it. So, and you could use that wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum, on the Ethereum network. So you can enter into different contracts, right? For example, on Uniswap, right? There's Uniswap. If we head over to Uniswap. And we go over to pairs right here, right? We could actually do a search on WBTC to Ethereum. And so now you could trade on Uniswap, wrap Bitcoin directly without having to worry about the exchange, right? The only issue is, of course, that you have to trust the company that they're not going to run off with your BTC, right? And run off with the BTC, making the wrap Bitcoins worthless. So that's the only issue with wrapped Bitcoins, and you can always, but you could add the Bitcoin into a complex contract on Ethereum because it's wrapped up on Ethereum as a token. So basically, it's just a tokenized. You could also call it tokenized Bitcoin as well. All right, next question.
Next question. We have a super chat from guess who?
Super Googly.
Super Googly, yes sir. He asked, how can I cope with the unreal feeling of buying even more shield coins while my whole little lady portfolio is down? When the altcoins are getting wrecked?
Yeah, I mean, they always get wrecked around this time, and this is when you start to buy, right? I mean, everybody's afraid of prices going down, and that's when you're supposed to be interested. Not when prices are going up and going to higher and higher levels. I mean, it's harder for people to do that, but that's your you're not interested in selling and making money and using the money tomorrow. So why are you concerned about it when your portfolio goes down over a short period of time, when you're not interested in using the money right now? Right? You're interested in using the money in the future, right? So if that's the case, there's going to be, when you're investing, there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs. Just let it go. You can't always have an ups. You can't always have your portfolio just constantly go higher and higher and higher unless you're in a Ponzi scam. Right? That's the only way, right? Or you know what, you're a bank, right, and you cheat, right? And that's another way, right? So if you have access to all the people's trades and stuff like that, and you use that information to rob them, right? Which is that's the normal way the banks deal with it. But other than that, if you're not robbing and stealing, the only way to deal with this is that you're going to have to invest over a long period of time. And you're going to have to take the downs with the ups. And that's it. All right, next question.
Next question. So this one is from EOS. And EOS asks, you mentioned possible asset confiscation in the future. Do you think they will conduct that through inflation, like using CPIU to underestimate inflation, so they pay royalties less and tax adjust slower?
Didn't quite understand that. So basically, where's that question? Once again, just reread it. What's
okay? Sorry. My pronunciation is just terrible. You mentioned possible asset confiscation in the future.
Possible asset confiscation, meaning that the governments might take it. Yeah.
Do you think that they will conduct that through inflation?
Oh well,
so
that's
pay less to treasuries and adjust tax slower.
Well, I think the problem is, right, once the government inflates their wealth away, the dollar away, and their debt away, they're still going to need money, right? They're still going to need assets in order to pay their soldiers, to pay the government, to pay everybody. So when the dollar doesn't work, what are they going to do, right? Are they just going to go, well, we're broke, so we'll just fire everybody? Really? I don't think so. So they're going to have to take your wealth, right, in order to function, right, after the dollar goes down. So yeah. So and in order to secure the value of the dollar as well, right? So basically, what they'll do is they'll take some sort of asset, something, right? And say, okay, well, that's going to be backing the dollar, or they'll hold it as a collateral for you to use the dollar and stuff like that. So that's coming, and I don't want to be near stocks where they can actually just press a button and take that. That's ours now, and anything that you can press a button and take, I don't want. I do not want any of that. That's why I avoid stocks. I avoid basically anything that's electronical, ETFs or whatever, commodities on the exchanges, whatever. On those, anything that's on an exchange or on a brokerage house, basically it's just too dangerous to hold as an asset, because the government could eventually take it with just a press of a button or a signing of a pen, and that's it. It's over. All right, next question.
Says, Eresa 85 asks, can you please ask what condition must be met that we break down to fill the CME gap?
What condition must be met in order to break down to the CME gap? I mean, we'd have to break the $10,000 level first. If we go down to the $10,000 level, we bounce off of it probably one more time, and then go back to test it. I think that would be it. That would be the end of the line for the $10,000 level, and we break down into the CME gap. Are we going to do it? I don't know. This time might be different. We might end up heading straight up higher. We'll just have to wait and see. Once we break the $11,100 level, then you could say the CME gap is not going to get filled. But if we stay down here in this range between 11,000 and 10,000, the increases the probability of the $10,000 level being broken. That's all. Yeah.
Excellent.
Next question.
We have another question from Twitch from Yahia 1980. Yahia asks, can you have a look at Mantradao coin? The ticket is OM.
OM is a ticker symbol?
Yes.
Alrighty. Let's see if we can bring this up with a chart. Never seen this before. OM. Is it OM?
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Don't think I'm going to be able to find this here. Let's go to coinmarketcap. All right, let's see what shield coin this is. I'm sure it just this guy's got bags and bags of OM mantra, and it's probably worth, yeah. Right. Right. Okay, so how old is this thing? Since August, right? Mantradao leverages the wisdom of the crowd to create community-governed, transparent, and decentralized ecosystem for Web 3.0. Okay, so meaning that it's out full of hooey. Okay, yeah. This don't waste your time with this coin. $9 million in volume. Really? Well, you know what? I don't know. This synapse does not do it justice. If it is some sort of good solid coin, they need to do a better job there. All right, next question.
Next question. Let's see. Okay, so Basmalasa asks, "Yo, how to analyze the decoupling of Bitcoin from the stocks the fastest way? It cannot be only layering the charts on top of each other, no?"
Yeah, it's just layering the charts on top of each other until they decouple, and that's it. There is
Usually the answer is way simpler than you expect.
exactly. And once you see, yeah, it decouples from there, and that's it. It's the only way. Sorry.
Okay, so Hamed Ayub wants to do some sins. He wants to do the TA on XRP.
XRP, oh man. Let's see here. I don't know. Let's see here. XRP is. It is gonna do well, right? But it just hasn't got its hasn't found its legs yet, man. It's like ridiculous. I would say we're probably just gonna float around here for a while. It's gonna get a lot of hate, a lot of maybe even break down to newer lows here. Maybe break this low of 800, 1500 sats here, or what is it? 11,000 sats actually. Yeah, 11,000 sats before we actually see this thing actually do anything. By Christmas time, I think. Around Christmas time, you should look to see where XRP is and then start buying, unfortunately. All right, next question.
Next question. So we have a question from Fractal Zero. This is about Pandora's wallet. But Fractal Zero from Twitch asks, would you consider adding a sharing functionality in Pandora's wallet to share your trades, which would be cool and easier and less error prone to follow than a Google spreadsheet?
Yeah, that's probably something that's I might do. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that for a while. Not sure if that has a great value. Other than just because you know why? The reason why is if you did that, right? Here's the problem. If we did that, what would happen is that as more people followed me, the liquidity would dry up, and we wouldn't be able to buy in at the prices that I wanted to buy in. So, because there's just too many of us coming at the same time, so it wouldn't work. So I don't think that would be very useful actually, because there's not that much liquidity for the little idiot buyers and stuff like that. So really, people should like spread their orders at different places than where I actually buy it to avoid that liquidity problem. So that's my issue with that. All right, next question.
I have a question. When is Pandora's wallet coming for Mac?
You have a question for Mac? Why you like Macs?
No, but I received many comments.
Okay.
Many comments from people. Where is Pandora's wallet coming into Mac? We want to use it.
We're gonna be working on that after we support ERC20 tokens and have Binance as well as one of our exchanges in the wallet. And then we're gonna work on the Mac version of it. All right, next question.
Awesome. So Doc Tonic asked from Twitch. Thank you. Switzerland is considering a crypto coin as a viat. What's your opinion on it?
Yeah, I've heard about that, and you know what? Those cryptocurrencies are just not going to be any value. They're just going to be totally controlled, and they won't be basically cryptocurrencies. They'll be just another version of their fiat that is totally controlled by them, and so it's going to run slower, most likely, and it'll take you time for you to transfer, and you won't be able to get it as easily as a Bitcoin. So, for example, if their cryptocurrency is easy to get, like for example, all I have to do is like download a piece of software and use it, then yeah, then great. But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't see that. Maybe, but I really doubt that they will let you do that. I think you have to join a club and in order to use the cryptocurrency, and so that will reduce its usability. And that's always been the problem, right? I mean, lately I've noticed that banks don't want me to have an account, but hey, 2 trillion of criminal transfers, dealing with criminals, right, and transferring their money around, $2 trillion worth of it. Hey, that's okay. Criminals are allowed to have bank accounts, but the average person, hold on here, hold on. You might be a criminal, but wait, you're laundering his money. No, he's not a criminal. But wait, the government just said he is a drug dealer. No, you're mistaken, sir. So that's the world we live in, right? And it's unfair, and this life's not fair, so that's just how it is. So this is why we need Bitcoin. This is why Bitcoin will just wipe these banks out of the scene. I mean, just destroy them, right? When we see, this is why you're buying Bitcoin, is because Bitcoin will be the go-to place to open up an account and transfer wealth between people. We won't need banks. Period. All right, next question.
Fine, next question. So, excuse me. So, Edward Alexandru Lonar says, please check Solana on CoinMarketCap. Thank you. Let's see if we can find a hidden gem or something.
Solana?
Yes.
Why is that? What is Solana?
I don't know. I assume it's a token.
Okay. Let's take a look. Solana. Wow.
Oh, we have a switcher from Brokamoto. Also.
Look at that. Look at the views count, man. Oh my God. 918 viewers. That's incredible. And look, only 250 likes. That's not so good. All right. So what's the
Solana
Soul coin? This coin got soul. Oh, 100 million market cap, right? 15 million volume. It's got how many out? It's got 500 million out. Well, not really. Actually, the current supply is 40 million. Interesting. It looks like it wants to come all the way back to at least to this area here around the dollar mark before we decide to go higher. But yeah, looking at the chart of this, right, it looks pretty good. Founded by former Qualcomm, Intel, and Dropbox engineer in the late 2017s. Solana is a single chain delegated proof of stake protocol whose focus is on delivering scalability without sacrificing decentralization or security. Okay. They need to work on that. That does not tell me anything, right? But hey, you know what? More power to them. The more coins that are out there, the more they work on products, the better. I like this yield farming new thing. We got to talk about this in the next video. This yield farming section here, and really explain what yield farming is once again, so that everybody understands that what the heck is going on. Why are they getting a yearly rate of return of 100% when the banks won't give you even 1%? If you want 1%, you're going to have to lock your money up for 30 years. Yet these guys are getting, basically, look at that, 0.3% per day. How is this possible? Right? And we'll talk about that in another show. Alrighty. Next question.
Okay, so Sir Toasty Brokamoto, before super chat and says Mike Maloney explains asset class wealth cycles. In your opinion, when is the wealth cycle to transfer your Bitcoin back into real estate assets?
That's a good question. That is a good question. We're gonna have to wait and see how this whole currency debacle plays out, right? Because the Federal Reserve is set up to destroy the currency, and we have to see how much people move into gold, how much people move in Bitcoins, and there will be a time, right, when Bitcoin cannot continue going higher, and it will level off and dampen out all the volatility that exists, right, because of big players being in the market, and they don't like massive 40% corrections and 50% corrections. We'll see Bitcoin do no more than a 5% correction in a specific day. So, with that said, once that happens, that would probably be the end of the cycle. And then but I think because Bitcoin is always reducing in supply constantly, not only because of the people losing it, but also the lack of mining. The mining production is reducing as well. There will be a consistent and never-ending inflation. And so holding it will always give you always know that in the future you will always be able to buy more and not less than you can today. And that's the advantage of it, right? So when somebody says, if somebody says, hey, you know what, I would like to have 1 Bitcoin to retire, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money in 15, 20 years from now. That might be, more money than that will be more money than the average person, and not very few people, in the future, sometime way in the future, less than 21 million people, probably way less, probably like less than 15 million people will be able to have 1 Bitcoin, right? So, it will be an interesting time when you say, hey, you know what, I want 1 Bitcoin to retire with. Yeah, you'll be on the top of the food chain, basically. So that's what that gives you is confidence that it's going to be different. Right now, you can't really say how much you're going to need because you might overestimate your needs for the future with Bitcoin, which is better than underestimating, right? With dollars, right? So imagine, right? You decide, okay, I want 1 Bitcoin to retire with, and you are super rich. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's okay. But imagine if you wanted $100 million to retire with, and you're super poor. That's not all right. That's very bad, right? That sucks big time. Are you okay, Inti?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you seem a little bit out of it. All right.
I just waited for the next question.
All right, next question.
Standby mode. So we have a super chat from Stephen McCoy. And Stephen. And he asked, in your opinion, will Ethereum be a good investment in the future?
Ethereum, yes. I think Ethereum will probably outperform Bitcoin in the future. I really think that we might see Ethereum have a higher market cap than Bitcoin for a short while. But then, it will correct back down because it's still a new currency, a new value proposition, and it always has the specter of a massive bug inside the code that will have to be repaired and will cause the market to drop very sharply in the short run. So, but once that's over, it'll be fine. the Ethereum's designed to survive that anyway, so you don't have to worry about that too much. All right, next question, and let's make this the last, or let's do two more questions and then we'll call it a day.
Okay, so this question is from Matej Bernatovic. Sorry if I pronounced your name badly, sir. And he asked, the governments are really that stupid, or they do know that printing so much money will end badly, but they keep doing it anyways because they have some kind of goal. And what is that goal? I think he hit right in the spot.
Yeah, I know. It's like, let's print more money, but the problem is, right? There's no other choice, right? It's either you don't print the money, and then the money's value goes up in value, and they have to default on their debts, right? For example, the federal government can't pay, right? There isn't enough income coming in to pay all their debts and pay for everything that they're paying right now. Should they stop printing, right? Basically, that's exactly what's going to happen. So, for example, the government won't be able to pay its employees, won't be able to pay the army, won't be able to pay for all the different benefits, basically all the Social Security, health care, Medicare, all of that would have to go away if they were to stop printing. Now, so what's easier for you, right? To face the people and say, listen, people, I know, right? We've had a good time lately. We borrowed and spent money, but now today is a day that we have to like tighten the belt. We're gonna have to cut all your favorite benefits, like your food stamps. We're gonna have to cut that. We're gonna have to cut your pensions. We're gonna have to cut your medical services. We're gonna have to cut. We're gonna have to cut the military. They're gonna have to come back home. Then they won't have a job anymore, right? We're gonna have to cut military spending in this area. But we're gonna have to cut this department, education, everything. But you know what? Once we do, right? I know this is going to be a little bit depressive. I know we're going to have, we're going to have to pay. Also, we have to pay back the Chinese, right, for that, because they worked hard for that money, right, and we need to pay them back, right. And so let's just cut all these expenses so we can pay back the Chinese. Yeah, that's not going to go over very well.
It was President Hoover who were in the Great Depression.
Yeah, it wouldn't. Honestly, it wouldn't be a depression. It wouldn't be a Great Depression because it would only last about a year.
Yeah, but you're going to be the most hated president of all time.
Exactly, right? You'll be hated by everybody, right? But really, the truth is, the pain would only last about a year, because everything would collapse, right? A lot of the governments and the local governments will also would also not be able to pay their bills, and so forth. And then as prices collapse down really fast and hard, right? Anybody with actual cash, because obviously the banks would be wiped out, and they wouldn't be able to do the FDIC insurance, of course, as well. They'd have to go, that FDIC insurance that we promised of $250, we can't do that. I mean, think about that, right? That's just not happening, right? Just not happening, and that's why we're printing until the dollar just collapses.
Well, the problem is that it's going to explode way worse than only 1 year.
Mm-hmm. But it's going to take longer if they do it this way. That's the sad thing. They do it this way, it's going to take longer to come back than more than a year, right? So unfortunately, that's the way they've chosen, the dishonest route. All right, next question and final question for today.
Next final question. Okay, this one is from CryptoJ86 from Twitch, and says, Do you think we will go into a Bretton Woods style agreement of cryptocurrency?
Interesting. Hard to say. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so. I think they'll avoid it with the plague, right? But eventually, maybe they will. Maybe there will be a Bretton Woods conference kind of deal, and they'll say, "Hey, the world's got to use Bitcoin," or something like that. That'd be crazy, right? I mean, imagine that. That they said, okay, well, everybody's got to be using Bitcoin because everybody knows that Bitcoin has value. That would be insane. But it could happen. It could happen. I don't see it happening for another 10 years from now because, one, Bitcoin is not ready for that, right? It's just not. So I would say wait about 15 to 20 years, 15 to 25 years for that to happen, basically. And then we'll see Bitcoin probably be ready for that, and then we'll see the everybody converting over. All right, well, thank you very much for watching. Thank you for participating in the live stream. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I noticed that a lot of people came to the show, and I appreciate all the likes and all the comments. Please leave a comment in this comment section below. I will definitely take a look at your comments.
And don't forget the people on Twitch.
And yeah, Twitch, yes. I'm sorry, I forgot all. You know what? I forgot. I wanted to end the stream specifically for YouTube and go on to Twitch. So I'm going to do exactly that. If you're on Twitch right now, I'm going to continue with the stream and just end it for YouTube, just because you guys were. I had to remove the what's it called, the overlay and the chat room. And there's 27 of you in the Twitch room, so I'm going to be answering your questions on Twitch if you're still there, and if you're not there, head over to Twitch, and I will be answering those questions right then and there. So I'm going to end it for today for you guys. But guys on Twitch, stay tuned, even though you're going to see the end screen. Thanks for watching. Cheers, people.
Bye.